something that I gotta remind myself to be is human. It's hard to do that, especially in today's society. With this generation, everybody looks at you like they want to laugh at you, they want to ridicule you, they don't want to see you succeed. But then you have a number of people that do want to see you succeed. It's just hard to see those people through the eyes of those that want to bring you down. All right, bottom line, moral of this story, because I know I could talk a lot. My name is Kyani Spider-Man Benjamin. Kyani is my middle name. One of my middle names, full name, Joseph Kyani Lee Benjamin III. I haven't used Joseph in a very long time because I don't care to use that name, being an identity theft credit fraud victim some years ago. But anyway, I'm not one for putting my personal business on social media because I think that it makes people vulnerable to let people in when everybody doesn't need to be let in. But then there are those certain it needs to go viral moments that it's a needed to put your business out there. I'm a single father, and I have custody of my daughter, one of my 3 daughters I have custody of, and I got her out of a molesting, abusive situation from her mother. And she is now 16 years old. She was with her mom 12 out of her 16 years. 1 year she was in foster care, and she was with me. I got her out of foster care in 2015, January 2015, but they didn't give me full custody until February 2016. And even still, I'm off child support, but the arrears are still kicking my butt. So they still take my, like a lot of these movies and shows that you see me in, I'm working for free because they take my checks. They don't take half. The arrears take full, 100%. But nonetheless, I bust my butt for years to get my daughter out of foster care. And when I say foster care, not just foster care of the system, foster care of her mother. Because she was going through hell living with her mom. That's why she started running away to come find me. She wanted to come live with me. Her mom didn't want that, and she kept her sheltered. You know, she wouldn't let me see her, but she wanted money from me. That she wanted. But even though my daughter doesn't want to be like her mom, she's been with her for 12 years, so she is her mom. So I say that to say this. I'm going to get straight to the point, and then I'll elaborate on that point. January 6, 2018, this year. It's either January 6th or January 7th, that morning, which was a Sunday morning. I think January 6th was Saturday. I got off work, pulled up in my driveway, dozed off in my truck, and I'm dressed just like this. You know, I have my badge that says Bail Enforcement Agent, because I'm a bounty hunter, Bail Enforcement Agent, and I have a patch on that says Georgia Security Officers, GSO. I work for an Atlanta SWAT police officer. He's a bomb technician, and he has a security company, and I'm one of his security officers. You know, all of my stuff says security officers or security enforcement officer or bail enforcement agent. nonetheless, I never try to impersonate a police officer. For what? Anyways, that morning, the 7th, that Sunday, that morning, I hear a car door open and close about 1 o'clock in the morning. I look over and there's a RAV4 parked in the middle of the street. And I turn and I look at my neighbor's car, and there's somebody on the ground, like her driver's side door is open. And somebody's on their knees on the ground, lean in her car, like they're trying to, do something under the steering wheel. Doing this right here, and I work in these locations, all I see is somebody trying to steal my neighbor's car, and it's not even a few feet away from where I am, so that could be my car. So of course I jump out of my truck and I yell at the kid. I was like, "Hey, what's up?" He jumps up. It's a young teenager. He looks at me, sees my badge, runs to the RAV4, jumps in, and they pull off. I call the police, give a description of the kid, the car. It had a test drive tag on it, so 9 out of 10 it was stolen as well. I knock on my neighbor's door. I let my neighbor know somebody just broke into your vehicle. And then it looked like they circled back around. So I told my neighbor, the police are on their way. Let them know I'm about to chase after this vehicle, and I'm going to give a better description of where they're going. So I run to my truck. I jump in. By the time I got to the top of the street, I lost them. So I circled through the neighborhood, and I came back around the circle of where I stay, and I saw an Atlanta police officer parked at the end of the street from where I stay. And I pulled up next to her. Like, my driver's side window was next to her driver's side window, and I rolled down my window, lean out of my window, and the first words out of my mouth were, "Did you just see a dark color RAV4 just speed past you with test drive tags because they just broke into my neighbor's car?" She said, "No, I didn't." "Oh, that was you that made the phone call." And I shook my head yes. I didn't even speak. I shook my head yes. Then she said, "You look familiar. Don't you work for Van Johnson?" Van Johnson is the SWAT bomb technician officer that I work for in his security company. Again, I shake my head yes. She said, "Well, you work in my zone. I know you. I've seen you before. You good at what you do. You need to come on out and be a police officer, because he has y'all doing things that we do, and if you get hurt, you don't get the benefits that we get." I agree with her, but I don't want to cut my hair. And that's what I told her. So the next thing, she says, "Oh, let me see your ID." In my head, I'm like, "Why are you asking for my ID? How about you go chase after whoever just broke into my neighbor's car?" So I give her my ID. She says that I have 2 warrants, arrest warrants. One for cruelty to children and the other for cruelty to animals. I said, "No, I don't. I go to work, I go home. I'm in some of these movies, work, and I go home. I go to boxing training, and I go home. I don't do nothing. I don't get in trouble." But sure enough, she takes me to jail. So I get out of my vehicle, and again, I'm dressed like this, but I don't have any weapons on me. So when I get out of my car, she asks, "Do you have any weapons on you?" I say, "No." In your car? Under my seat. But I didn't give her permission to go in my vehicle. So she puts me in cuffs, put me in the back of her car. Then she said, "I should let you bring your car to the house, being that you stay right there, because they're going to tow it. It's going to cost you more money." So I asked her, "Well, can I bring it to the house?" She said, "No, I can't let you do that." In my head, I'm like, "Well, why would you even tease me with saying this?" So another officer comes. They look under my seat. They go in my vehicle illegally, and they see the gun. Now, this gun was given to me by a coworker from another security company, and I'm gonna say his name, Gerald Bourgeois. He was from Blue Line Protection Security Company. Anyway, he gives me the gun. I gave him money for it, and told me the gun was clean. Of course, I was going to get the gun registered, and check the serial numbers and make sure everything was good when the Secretary of State sends me my blue card. I've taken all my blue card classes. I have all my certificates. My blue card class was instructed by a sheriff who ran all of our names and said that we were all good. That we all qualified to be licensed to carry. Because I have a felony on my record from years ago, like over 12, 13 plus years ago back in Florida. But Georgia state law, as long as the felony is 5 years or older and it's not violent, you can apply for a gun permit. So that's what I did. I did all, like I said, I have all the necessary requirements. Now, she said that I had these warrants. Last year, my daughter ran away. She was in Boston, going to school up there in Boston, and came back here August of 2017. I was going to enroll her in an online K-12 program, but I didn't have the unofficial transcripts to do it in time. So I had to put her to a regular school because they would request the official transcripts from the school up there in Boston and have them sent out here. Then I could withdraw her from the school and put her into the online school. That was going to be the plan. So when it was about that time, my daughter, she wanted to do the online school, but now she changes her mind and says no, she wants to stay in this school here. In my head, I'm thinking, oh boy, she'd have met some people. I hope they're good people. So I say this. Here's our agreement. Keep your grades up, stay out of trouble, and I won't take you out of the school to put you into the online school. And she promised. Mind you, again, I never raised my voice to my daughter. I never talked down to her. I never hit her. I mean, she's a flight risk. Anytime she feel like something don't go her way, I know she can run away. So I don't need her running away from me. Not with all this child trafficking going on out here, especially in Georgia. So keep your grades up, stay out of trouble. I won't take you out of school, she promised. Not even 3 weeks later, she starts acting up. Snuck a boy into her room through the window. And then tried to lie about it. She deleted everything out of her phone, so not thinking that I could just re-upload the apps and stuff and see her messages. But instead of her talking to me first, she ran away. Because she didn't want me to withdraw her from school. So whoever she ran away to, she lied to them and told them that I abused her and I hit on her. So they would let her stay at their place, so she could still go to school. She didn't understand the consequences that were going to come behind that. That those people, whoever she lied to, were going to call Department of Children and Family Services on me, DFACS. She didn't know that they would call them on me. So of course they came, they called me, they talked with her grandmother, and they talked with me and talked to 2 other people that I know. So after they investigated, because they get the police involved as well. But after they investigated and found out my daughter lied, they dismissed the case. They dropped it. So I thought we were good. That was September. She was gone for 2 months. Then she came back. That was done. December, I have a puppy in the house. That the puppy peed and boo-booed in the house, and I took a magazine, took it by the leash, and I was popping it on the head. And there's an older lady in the house who is stage 3 cancer, but she's also suicidal and schizophrenic. She comes out and sees me hitting the dog, and she gets excited. She runs over there and she pushes me. I turn around, she hits me, and when she went to hit me again, I moved around her, and I looked at her like, why would you put your hands on a man, knowing that you don't want a man putting their hands on you? So how about this? I'm going to call the police on you. But I didn't, because I know she has issues. But I didn't. Next day, though, I'm at work. My daughter calls me, tells me that the police are at the house trying to serve civil papers. I asked the police, civil papers for what? And they say the lady's name. So I call her, and I asked her, why are there police trying to serve me civil papers? Her words, because I never thought you put your hands on me. I said, what are you talking about? I never touched you. Backtrack. in my house, I have Xfinity home protection. So we have cameras that see and hear everything. Right? Back to this point. I said, need I remind you, we have cameras in the house that see and hear everything. She says, okay, what are you talking about? You was hitting the dog and I ran out there and you... Oh, wait, you're right. You didn't hit me. I hit you. I said, yes. So I don't need to have Xfinity pull the camera footage and email it to me, right? She said, oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm going to go down there and tell the police that I lied. And she did. So when I came home, she had a paper printed out from the police station, dismissal of the charges. That was December 11th. So I figured that was done too. Because animal control came out there and they took my dog and they took it down to wherever the x-ray to see if they had any bruises under the skin. Because she told the people that I hit the dog with a 2x4. I didn't think a rolled up magazine was even the size of a 2x4, but she told him I hit him with a 2x4. And mind you, now she's schizophrenic. She said that the voices in her head that she calls the committee told her, in all that excitement of me hitting the dog to the police, all that excitement, the committee told her to tell them that I hit her too. That's how the simple battery came about of that. So she went down there and dropped the charges December 11th. I thought it was over. Backtrack. So now back to this present day, December 7th. I'm getting arrested for 2 warrants that were supposed to have been dropped already. All right. I'm in the back of her car. They look at my gun and they run my gun. Again, I just got this gun from a coworker. They tell me that, your gun is stolen, right? I said, no. I just got that. I didn't even get the chance to register it yet, so I didn't know it was stolen. I just got it from a coworker. Well, the gun is stolen. So now I got theft by receiving a stolen handgun. And then she threw up, you're a felon. You're not supposed to have a gun. I said, that's over 5 years, well over 13, 14 years, but it's over 5 years for Georgia state law. And the sergeant who I took my blue card gun class with told me that I can apply and that it is okay for me to carry once I get my permit. I just purchased the gun, so once I get the permit, I can go ahead and register the gun, so I'd already have a gun. And I took all of my classes and everything, and so I'm getting arrested. On top of that, she lied on her probable cause. Instead of telling the truth about why I'm even in her face, because I was reporting my neighbor's car having been broken into, she lied and said that I impersonated a law enforcement officer. I told her, no, I didn't. I never told you I was a police officer. She said, yes, you did. I said, no, I didn't. She said, yes, it's on my body cam. I said, run it back. She runs it back, plays it on her phone, and it says exactly what I said it said. My first words were, did you see a dark color RAV4 that just sped past you with test drive tags that just broke into my neighbor's car? She said, no, that was you that made the phone call. Oh, you look familiar. Don't you work for Van Johnson? Yeah, I seen you working. You work in my zone. So, again, I didn't introduce myself. She shut off the phone quick. She shut off her body cam quick and said, oh, don't worry, it's on here. What do you mean, don't worry? You're arresting me for false charges. That's a felony, impersonating an officer. So why would I knowingly... First of all, why would I introduce myself as a law enforcement officer to a law enforcement officer wearing security shit? Excuse my language. The patch on my arm says Georgia Security Officers. That's a patch that everybody who works for APD, Atlanta Police Department, knows who owns this company. Because Tim Van Johnson, APD SWAT bomb technician, is well known in all of Georgia's police. From Cobb County, Clayton County, Smyrna Police. They all know who Van Johnson is. So, why is she gonna lie and say that I impersonated an officer when so now I have court. I spent a week in jail. All of my finances got backed up because of that week in jail. I'm trying to catch up on everything. Like, one, child support has already been cleaning me out. You know, I've been working my butt off just to keep breathing, to keep a roof over my daughter's head. The house that we have, we're on somebody else's voucher. The older lady who I'm helping take care of, her caseworker put us on her voucher. And this is her gift to me and my daughter because she knows she's going to be passing soon. So since I've been her support system for 5 years, she's trying to leave us a house. And I appreciate that. I'm not here to use her. I've been helping her for 5 years. And I never asked her for anything. She knows that I finally got custody of my daughter. She wants to help me out because child support, I lost my house. I lost cars. I lost monies. I lost hundreds of thousands of freaking dollars. My career has been going very slow, and it seems like it's going down slow, not up slow, you know, but I still found it inside of me to help somebody else. But regardless of the situation, my daughter, she could lie on me and say that I hit on her. That's the only reason, one of the main reasons why I wouldn't have known that the gun was stolen. I mean, I would have when it come time to register the gun. But I never introduced myself as a law enforcement officer. But none of that would have even came about had my daughter just came and talked to me first instead of running away and lying and say that I put my hands on her. And the lady who was schizophrenic because she forgot to take her medication and went and told the police that I hit her. To have those open warrants to begin with. So now because of those issues, I'm possibly facing going to prison over something that I didn't. The reason I'm even making this video is because I need help. I'm the last person to try to put my personal business on social media, but I don't know what else to do. I have this police officer who lied and said that I impersonated a law enforcement officer, when all they have to do is run back her body cam and they will see that I did not do that. When I go to court, I'm gonna ask for another patch from the guy I work for. And I'm going to court just like this so they can see this is exactly how I was dressed when she arrested me. When I approached her. But I am praying my butt off that this plays in my favor, because I would hate to be one of those people in prison for false accusations. I need an attorney. I can't afford an attorney because child support has cleaned out my bank accounts of the same child that I have custody of. They know I have custody of her. That's why they took me off child support. But the arrears, they still take 100% of. It is hard as hell to raise a child as a single father while child support is still cleaning out your bank accounts, leaving you broke. And then on top of that, my daughter I have is unappreciative. If anybody who is watching this has an attorney, knows an attorney, has contact, has whatever with an attorney, a criminal defense attorney that can. Everybody, from what I'm told, every lawyer has to do a number of pro bono cases in order to keep their practice on the board, or how their license. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for a handout. If they would do it pro bono, I would still work out a payment arrangement with them. I'm not trying to go to prison for some BS. I could see if I did something, but if anybody who's watching this has an attorney, knows an attorney that can help me out, please send them my way. Inbox me, your number, whatever. I can't go to prison for this. So again, I'm a single father. I just got custody of my daughter. I've been fighting this for years. I chose to stay on child support. She called me when my daughter was 5 years old. I didn't even know my daughter. I seen her one time when she was 2 years old, and I took her when we went to the LabCorp office to get a DNA test. And her mom told me what she did at the LabCorp office. She told me what she did to get this daughter of mine so I could just give her that money. And then after that, she wouldn't let me see her anymore. I'm saying this. I'm getting choked up because it's hard to put my name in the same sentence with prison. Look, I'm not the type to ask for any handouts. I'm not. But I need an attorney, and I don't have the finances to get an attorney. If they can work out a payment arrangement, I would do that. Pro bono is even better, but I would still offer to pay them. Pro bono is better though. But I need help. You know, if anybody can help me, please. It's already hard enough doing a single father thing, but I'm trying to rebuild my boxing career. I've been doing this acting stuff. A lot of these movies that I've been stunt double in and extras in, and trying to get some bigger roles, and I'm trying to do positive things so my daughter will have somebody to look up to. My children would have somebody to look up to. And if God blesses me with a wife to share my life with, I would have something to bring to the table. That is my plan. Prison is not something that I need on my resume. Please, if anybody has anybody that can help me, inbox me. Please.